To the 1% Club, we are glad you're here. How you doing? Oh, Mark, I love it. Mark's here. The Canadians are in the house. Jared Davis, all my favorite people. David Mills, Clark Broom. You guys are all here, man. Jenny, Janet, what is going on? Mrs. LaFrance, Sonia Dixon, good to see you guys. Man, this is awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do before I dive in today, we're going to let a few more people get a chance to jump on here. But I want to hear some highlights for those of you that haven't gotten to share a few highlights about action you've taken coming off EXPCon. What speaker inspired you and what action have you taken? It's really important. And then that should be a good, Jared's first. And that should be like if you didn't take any action, you missed the whole point of being there. Jared, go ahead.
So Carrie Scholl had something on recruiting agents to the team. She talked about using Indeed as just agent ads and said that was working. She also said that PSI sells new agent data for agents that are getting their licenses. I did not know that was the case. PSI is also telling me that's a lie, but there's a way. So right now I am working on getting all of that aggregate data. And then I've set the KPI is 50 agents on my team by the end of the year. And so the performance indicator to do that is at least one agent interview a week. I took my foot off the gas. I've been missing a little bit. I've been dealing with a bunch of stuff. But I have 5 agent meetings this week. So, I mean, I hit my one.
He's back. He's back.
We're doing it.
I love it. I love it. If you guys don't know Jared, he owns like 50 rental properties or something insane. He runs a team of more. How many rental properties you got now?
I close on 60 tomorrow. And then I have 8 that I'm selling right now. And I've got another 5,300 contracts. So it'll be 250 if we close on all right.
Those. I'm a little off. 250 properties. He's busy. Okay. And then he's got a sales team doing 100 deals a year. How many deals a year your team doing?
We'll end up a little over 200 this year.
By the way, I'm teaching you guys how to introduce people. I knew he had way more homes than that. I knew how I really did. But my wife, I'll go, babe, we'll make $1 million doing something. Go, honey, I'm so excited. Guess how much money we just made? She'll go, $5 million. I'm like, $1 million. I'm a total loser. She always, no matter what, she picks this freaking huge number, and it's like depressing. So I make sure I'm able to let people have their moment. And then Jared's team, his revenue share team, is how big?
I think 355 right now, something like that.
So he's hitting on all 8 cylinders. And so it's freaking amazing. So congratulations, Jared. So Jared, your homework assignment, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to call Carrie, Schill, and to find out, well, how do you buy it? And then let us know so everyone here can benefit from the deal. And then maybe next week report back. And so this is PSI, you said?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's probably PSI in all the states. I don't know if it's called something different, but it's essentially where you take your final test, right, to get your license. Supposedly someone pulls that aggregate data and they sell it. So Carrie had said $1,200 a year, and then you get a monthly email. It's like, here's the stuff, right? So I'm just trying to buy everything. Yeah. So I have actually reached out to Carrie. I sent her a workplace message. She replied. It's somebody on her team, so she wasn't sure, but I got my assistant on it. If I can figure it out by next week, I will tell you. And if it takes me longer, regardless, I will
add me on the text thread. You can add me, say, hey, Brent and I were curious. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but sometimes it'll open a door for you if you just throw my name in there. And so we'll help you, because sometimes they're like, well, maybe she doesn't know you that well, Jared. And so you're getting the whatever. And then always tell people, hey, I sell 200 homes a year. I own 250 properties. I got 350 people in my group. Let's trade information. I want to help you too. If I could get a Zoom, if there's any way I could serve you, make sure you guys, whatever your superpower is, like Wendy Goss, for example. I'm going to give you guys an example. Wendy, unmute yourself. So Wendy is a freaking one of my most favorite people in the world, which isn't saying much because I love all of you. But anyways, I gave her a compliment and took it back. My wife goes, go, oh my gosh, I love, Mark Bearzel. She goes, you love everybody. I'm like, it's kind of true. So, but there's some people that are harder to love than others, but Wendy's easy to love. And now I just realized I could never find you. I want to call you and text you, and you're in my phone. I can never find you because I'm always going WENDY. I just never think to put the I, and it drives me crazy. And seeing you here, I go, I was trying to reach you this weekend, to tell you the truth. So, but Wendy has really figured out, I believe it's the luxury piece, correct, Wendy?
Yes.
Yep.
Luxury. Yes. It's
So
amazing.
I'm going to give her a 30-second commercial. She was doing.
God, no.
Yes. She was selling like 50 homes a year or something, regular homes, just everyday average homes. And a friend of her challenged her to do luxury. She's like, I can't do luxury. I drive a Jeep. I drive a Harley. I'm not a luxury girl. I drive a freaking Jeep and a Harley. And she likes to drink beer at, that was somebody else. They said their superpower is drinking a beer at Chevron, and hanging out, which is hysterically funny. But when you can be authentic and real and down to earth, people adore you. And I think that's one of Wendy's superpowers. And is that the Jeep necklace you're wearing, by the way?
That's a Jeep grill. Yep. I'm a Jeep grill.
Jeep grill. Who has a necklace with a Jeep grill? I mean, I don't need to say
I even wear it to my $10 million listing appointments.
Right. So she quit killing herself selling 50 homes. Last year she sold, by the way, real roughly, and I'm going to make a point with all this. You last year you sold like 40, 50, 60 homes, whatever it was, a lot of homes. And you did how much volume?
Right. So we're not calculating volume yet, because I've only sold 5 out of the 12 luxury listings I landed. So, right. But yes, my volume went way up. I did get, because of my organization, I sold less, but made, money on 150 homes. So that's kind of cool. But the luxury part, yes, I have made so much more on luxury just selling a few houses than I would when I was killing myself selling 50 plus homes. But yeah, and now they're between 850 and 12 million, and they just keep coming. I just got another one for 3 million. I listed another 4 million last week. Like, it is happening. It's exploding.
So let's break this down. What's your average sales price where you live?
Well, 450,000 is for Las Vegas.
Okay, so 4 million's 10 times more expensive. She sells that $4 million home. It's like selling 10 $400,000 homes, and the work to do 10 $400,000 homes at 10 one. Oh my gosh! And she's just beginning. So it's amazing. I'm proud of you. Way to go! So excellent. Who else heard a speaker at EXPCon and you implemented it? You go, I'm going to go. I heard. Unreasonable hospitality, and I went and bought the book, or I listened to a part. Yes, go for it.
I went into the YouTube class with Levi. And
by the way, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. It'll help me if you guys you go to reactions and hit raise my hand. It throws you in the left-hand corner so I can see you guys. Just a little tip there. It helps me, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yes, I went to Levi's class on the YouTube, and I made a bunch of changes to my YouTube channel, and kind of mirrored what he did. And I actually have been doing some of the stuff I learned from him in the Salem event as well. And I've been getting a lot more views.
Excellent. Go learn, implement. Get the book, Unreasonable Hospitality. Read the book. Start doing crazy, over-the-top service to your agents, to your other agents you're trying to sponsor, and to your clients, and to your family. Blow away your family. Blow away your neighbor. Do something awesome for your neighbor. I mean, it's so amazing. The cart girl, it was her last day at El Conquista. She's worked there for 4 years. She won Miss Puerto Rico and she won Miss Global. And so her life's changing. And today was her last day. Every time we go off, we see Ashley, and she's amazing. And I asked if I could pray for her to bless her. And she's like, oh, okay, it'll be short. And I just said a little short prayer. I look up, she's streaming tears. And of course, when I left, I gave her a ton of cash and said, Merry Christmas. And she's streaming tears again. Make people cry. And when's the last time you made somebody cry? You think, oh, it's bad to make people cry. It is good to make people cry if you do it the right way. And if you're an a-hole, yes, it's bad to make people cry. That's not. And you guys are the 1% club. You are not a-holes. You are awesome. A for awesome, not the a-hole thing. You guys are awesome agents. You're AAs. Awesome agents, and you're amazing. So make people cry. Wendy, so thank you for sharing that. Wendy, go ahead.
Yeah, Brian Carruthers. I love him. Like, I listened to his Building an Empire like 5 or 7 times, maybe 10. And I didn't know he was gonna be there. And I was just like girl crushing. And then he threw out another book, Untrapped Freedom Manifesto. So I got the book and I've already listened to that 3 times, like so good. And I want to buy like 100 of them because he does talk about EXP and like joining EXP and making extra money, building. And I think it would be perfect for an agent attraction book. Like, hey, read this, do something like this. Come on over.
Take action. I love it. The worst thing you can do is go to Cabo or go to EXPCon, hear it, get inspired, and do nothing. Always come back. Even if you fail, go for it. Epically fail. You'll get better and you're going to get closer to your goal. David Mills, fire away. Thank you very much.
I went to John Lee's session, and then afterwards he did a mastermind after we got back. And so I attended it for 3 days, and I did he talked about social media and AI, and I used some of that stuff in my presentation this week. I won $2 million listings this week from using his material.
Bingo. And then look at that, the return on that. If you're getting 3%, $60,000, you double end them, hopefully 80, 90, $100,000. You must implement. Go implement. Do you guys take notes from your notes? I was just with Tony Robbins all weekend, Dr. Oz, Brian McKnight, the famous jazz singer, this violinist. They flew in from Europe to play for us, and she had a Stradivarius that was built in 1717. It's a violin. It was 300 years old. It was worth $15 million, just a tiny little violin. She rocked that thing. She was like Def Leppard on the guitar, but it was a violin. She went absolutely crazy. The place went berserk. Had a very special weekend. Why am I telling you that? Because I learned a lot of really cool things, and I'm taking notes from my notes. I'm going to share one of the things, Dean. Oh, wow. I almost forgot to write that down. Number 5, I was sitting here. I'm just going to write the word Dean. You'll remember. Hold on. I was sitting here before we started this going, I had one more thing. I haven't gotten to my stuff, but take notes from your notes, teach it and do it. Teach it and do it. Share what you're learning. Awesome. Will.
I went to your event on growing events and put together a big event. We're going to have about 230 agents, and we put it together in like 3 weeks. So it's next week in Chino Hills, and we got a bunch of speakers. So that's what I took from it.
I love it, man. Very, very cool. Right on. Take it action. And what kind of an event is it? If you don't mind me asking.
There you go. So it's a real estate event. So we're calling it Breakthrough 2025, and we have a bunch of speakers, mainly in my group. And then we were able to get a friend of mine from selling the show Selling OC to come as well. So we're going to announce her tomorrow.
Yeah. Awesome. Do events and showcase your group. They get there in front of 10, 20, 30. Dylan Nanaka is here from the Hawaiian Islands. He does it all the time with his team, and it grows the leadership. You're passing the mantle of leadership down to them. That's why in May, I did 10 momentum events. I just called it momentum, and I did 10 of them, and I had massive speakers at all of them, and we're showcasing our people. It was awesome. Thank you, Will. So Dylan, unmute yourself real quick since I called you out. That almost looks like a military camo top you're wearing there. It looks cool. But,
it's a Hawaiian golf shirt. These are ferns on here.
Nice. So how big is your group, Dylan?
My rev share group is like 140, but my awesome. Rev share is like 140, but my sales team's bigger than that. So I'm one of the only guys in the company who probably has a bigger sales team than rev share group. So
I think, how is that possible? His sales team is bigger than his rev share team. He takes people that want to join his team that aren't in his organization. So, and is your sales team limited to the Hawaiian Islands, or do you have people stateside now?
We have a small team in Spokane. That's like a satellite. So it's our first foray outside of the islands, but we're on all 4 islands.
How big is your sales team?
It's about 160. Today we are number 3 in EXP for units, over 700 units this year.
There you go. So if you're building a team, you want to go to the next level, I would get to know that man and go, just call him up. You can find him on Workplace Chat. And you got 5 minutes for me? And then don't talk to him for 2 hours. Do 5 minutes. Come prepared with a list of questions and do that. I made pace. Go ahead.
No, and on your note about events, Brent, we're doing we do an event every last quarter of the year. So next week, Thursday, we call it Level Up Business Planning and Goal Setting. And we usually get 150, 200 agents to come. And it's 100% conversion rate. If we get agents to come from outside of a lot of them are EXP agents. We do it for the community, for the team, but we always have 20 agents that come from outside, and it's almost 100% conversion rate when they see the culture, experience the other people, the energy. It's like a no-brainer to join. So best recruitment event of the year.
People are looking for an invitation. Teach your group to invite. You invite. Come. What do you call it? Goal up. What do you call it?
We call it level up.
Level up. Level up. And
yeah,
it's all about
goal setting. Level up your 25. Yeah. And then we got 3. I mean, this year we have three amazing agents coming in from the mainland, and it's because of these networking events. And so if you want me to come somewhere, I'll go anywhere and help you do an event. I did one in New Jersey before EXPCon, and one in Vegas. Actually, I went to Vegas first and then did an event, and then went to New Jersey, did an event, and then flew down to EXPCon. So made the most of the trip to the States. But there's so many people that'll give back, and that's what draws folks to our event. Is we're bringing in team leaders from California and from New Jersey and icon agents from New Mexico, and so they're bringing their tactics and strategies from outside of our market, and people love hearing that stuff, especially when you're isolated in a little market like ours. So
you're going to come to Canada?
I love it. I've been to Canada one time. I got off the cruise ship for like an hour and then got back on. So I'll definitely come to Canada, no problem.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You guys just got to ask. So much love and people willing to help here. It's amazing. Will, how big is your rev share organization these days? It's decent size, isn't it?
220.
Over 200. That's amazing. That's awesome. I love it. And David Gurwells, he's out. Good job, Will. Proud of you, man. David's out in South Carolina, Hilton Head. What's up, David?
Hey, how are you today?
Yeah, you just got on fire. You got a group of agents. What's your average price point out there at Hilton Head?
For homes, we're right about $1 million.
And how many agents do you have? 20, 30 agents now? What do you got?
I'm up to 135.
135 agents out in Hilton Head. Average home sale $1 million. Are you guys one of the bigger organizations, producers of real estate sales in Hilton Head now?
Yeah, so Coast, which brokered by EXP, is the largest in South Carolina now, twice as large as the next team. And I think their ranking is about 15 overall within all of EXP National right now. So
that is awesome. So here's an example. Are there some brokerages that have been Hilton Head for over 10 years?
Yeah, you think, yeah. Right.
What's the oldest one? Like in Sacramento, we have Lions Real Estate. They've been in business for over 50 years. They have 1,100 agents, and they've been over 50 years. Do you have any old timers that you're aware of that have been Hilton Head for 20, 30 years?
Yeah, I think we're about 40, probably 40, 45 years.
You got 40, 45 years. And how long has Coast been around with EXP? How long has Coast? How long has it been?
2022 is when they formed. So started with two guys, right?
Who are the two guys?
So Tristan O'Grady and Rick Saba started it.
And you sponsored who?
Tristan.
Are you glad you've sponsored Tristan?
Yeah. It's been great. So they've grown their team to nearly 80 within 2 years.
That is awesome. That is awesome. They're all selling $1 million houses, $5 million, $2 million, $3 million with RevShare 2.0. You're getting paid on levels 1, 2, and 3. You only need 5 to go all the way to 4, 10 to get to level 5. I mean, if you're not making money, it's your fault, and you just got to light yourself on fire, turn up the entry. I don't know, drink a bunch of water, drink a cup of coffee, put on some music. I heard I took my dry cleaning in just now. It was like the radio played some of the best music, and I was just rocking out in the car. And inspire yourself. Do whatever you have to do. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears on you. We're going to go fast. I got 10 minutes left, and so I have a lot to cover. Let's go. Number one, you sponsor an agent. You sponsor a mega producer agent, a top producing agent. You sponsor a team, 8, 10 agents. You sponsor a brokerage. I'm bringing on 70 agents. They're literally promised me that they will be on by December 1st, 70. But listen to me, whether it's 1 or 70 or 700, it is all hands on deck the first 30 to 60 days. The first 30 to 60 days. Call them, checking on them, because something will go wrong with their sky slopes. Something will go wrong with their website. They'll talk to the state broker and they'll be snippy with them, but they won't call you, and they'll smolder, and then they won't get paid right. Well, the first check they get is vital because it tees up all the rest of the tax. And then when they're paid wrong and the money goes to EXP Corp and it takes a week to turn around, and they really needed the money because it's Christmas, or they really need it in January, February because they spent so much money at Christmas and they're frustrated, that is 100% our fault. That is 100% your fault, right? Because, so I'm just telling you, all hands on, just check on them. Hey, how's it going? Quick text. Give me a quick text. How you doing, man? Is there anything you need? And I always tell people, don't suffer in silence. So really important. Number 2, get yourself a Sophia. Sophia, I'm so excited she's on here today. Sophia, unmute yourself. Everybody needs a Sophia.
Hi, Brent.
Sophia. Hi, Sophia. Sophia was the director of First Impressions at Keller Williams for years and years and years. And then she met and fell in love with this guy named Joey Satariano. I saw him on here a second ago. I don't see him now. He was on here a second ago, and they got married.
His face is numb. He got his teeth done.
Okay. All right. So they fell in love to a man named Brady, and that's why they're called the Brady Bunch. No, it's the Sophia and Joey Bunch. And so here's the deal. She does onboarding for me, has for going on the 5th year, maybe.
6.
Yep. But from day one, I had an onboarding person. My daughter. Do you have a daughter? Have her do your onboarding. If she's capable. Mine was. She was like 24. She's 32 now, right? But Christina trained Sophia. Then Sophia picked it up like this, and she's amazing. Christina's getting a master's in psychology to deal with this. She has to understand me more. So anyway, it's too funny. But Sophia's amazing. So if you're out there and you're like, really, you don't let EXP onboard your people? I would never let EXP onboard my people. Don't you like EXP? I love EXP, but they're constantly hiring new people. I'm not going to spend 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years recruiting someone to have their new person at EXP say dumb stuff and they blow out. Would never, ever, never do that. Kirsty is here. Stay with me, Randy and Kirsty. Kirsty is married to Randy. She does the onboarding for them. And then so your husband can do it, your wife can do it, your son can do it, your daughter can do it, your assistant can do it. I would not let EXP onboard people. I think it's foolish. And if they sneak through and get to EXP, I pray it goes right. And usually it does. And 90% of the time it does. I'm just not willing to take that chance 10% of the time. I want a smooth, professional, wonderful experience coming under a company. It's really important. And I want them excited. And that takes intentionality. Sophia, you've actually recorded your onboarding, I believe, in a video that if people want, they used to shadow her all the time. And then she would get on a Zoom and watch her onboard somebody. But I think it was so time intensive and just awkward for her or whatever, possibly, that she recorded one that she can give you. Or what do you do? Would people want to watch?
Yeah. So the recording for the onboarding, we did the full thing. We break it into 2 sections. It's from this past summer. So we'll be revamping it since EXPCon rolled out some new tools. So we'll have that there, but we basically take them from beginning to end. All we ask is that the sponsor does the application, and then we get them into all the tools, all the sky slopes, all the KV cores, all the worlds, all the trainings, anything that has to go into it. So
I just put it in the chat.
So yep, Rob's putting it in the chat right now. There was the voice of God, and
I was like, I know that voice.
You can all have it. And then you can have, hey, tell your daughter, your son, your husband, your wife, watch this and do it and watch it and study it. Like, it's important. It's really important. And I don't fumble. If you screw up, they come to EXP and they bounce back in a week or 2 because they're frustrated. That's on you. And that's called a fumble. You fumbled in the end zone. I watched an NFL game 2 or 3 weeks ago. The guy was running across the finish line, most amazing run, and he dropped the ball, and he wasn't quite over the finish line. The other team recovered it. It was a touchback, and he gave up a touchdown because he was showboating. He didn't finish. When they sign up, you're not done. You know when you're done? I mean, the first 30, 60 days, all hands on deck. But even now, Drew and I were calling every one of my front line. I have 80. Been here a long time. I have 80. I can't do it all. That's why I have someone to help me. I have someone to help with onboarding. Sophia, I have someone to help me with my front line. Drew, how would you like to have so many people in your front line? You need help. Do you touch them? Do you call them? Do you encourage them? Really important to do. Sophia, thank you. And she's going to do an updated video is what I heard her saying. Okay, so that was it. All hands on deck. Do not rely upon EP. Number two, no world tours. I personally never talk about EXP. I don't talk about the world. I don't talk about avatars. I don't talk about the metaverse. To me, it's a reason not to come to EXP. So if you're talking about the metaverse, in my opinion, you're making a mistake. Because what's that? Oh, I don't want to spend my time inside some cloud in a cartoon form. They get the tour once they join, and then they're already here. It's too late. But anyways, but then I see it's kind of cool. But it's a reason not to come to EXP, in my opinion. Full on, it holds people back. Yeah, I don't want to do that metaverse thing. That's weird. Why go there? Well, I want to know about it. Yes.
Oh, sorry. In regards to that, we also in our onboarding tour, we don't show them the world tour until the follow-up appointment. Our first tour is first their enterprise, their Okta. Their second tour is then EXP World. So we close with EXP World, and we always say it's optional. Use it if you absolutely need it. Other than that, we have workplace or this and that. So
you can text your broker, you can email them. The world's awesome. I actually love it. I just never talk about it because it's going to slow them down. It's called speed bumps and potholes. Speed bumps and potholes. And the dumbest thing you could do, and I say this with love in my heart, is I'm going to give them a world pass so they can walk around all by themselves and meet whatever wackadoodles in the world. And who knows what the heck they're telling them. It's like just telling your buyers, hey, why don't you go to all the open houses you can find in La Jolla this weekend, in San Diego, in Phoenix, and just meet every agent you can meet. And I'll tell you what, they're going to become somebody's client. I met those people in my open houses, and they go, oh, I already have an agent. I go, yeah, Sophia from Century 21, she's sweet. Yeah, I know her. She's cool. Hey, there's no law that says you can't have two. I'd love to help you too. And your odds aren't twice as good. They're 10 times as good because Sophia's amazing. But I'll tell you right now, I'm going to outwork her. I'm going to turn over every rock, every leaf. Nobody's going to outwork me. I network with all the top agents. I know Jared Davis, the guy sells 200 homes a year. I know Will Higgins. He's doing $3 billion a year. We network David Mills, Clark Broom, David Gurwell's #1 team in Hilton Head. We share inventory. I'm going to bring you off market listings. So use Sophia. Now, if it's a friend, someone I really know, then I don't do that. But I mean, sometimes I know them and I only say nice things about the competition. Hey, I'm sure they're nice, but you've been looking for 6 months. I guarantee, I promise I will find you a home in the next 1 to 2 weeks because I'm putting in there, you're going to buy and and what's the worst case thing? I am confident I'm going to bring you your dream home in 1, 2, 3 weeks. It's going to happen. They're like, woo, I'm teaching them how to behave. And I honestly expect that. I show property write-off or put them in escrow. Show property write-off. Yeah, how? Because I expect it. You get what you expect. A lot of you expect to show property for half a year and then go buy new construction. You never get paid. And you get what you expect. I get what I expect. What do you expect? Tony Robbins set higher standards. Expect different things. Expect to sponsor people. Expect people to be excited. And then invite people in your life. Shelly Johnson is my neighbor. She invited these lovely ladies here, and they're all listening to me just go off and be crazy. And they just, when she invited them to Puerto Rico yesterday, they got on airplanes and flew from the United States of America to another country, Puerto Rico, which, by the way, it's a territory. It's not another country. You can fly out here without your ID because I lose my wallet all the time. I fly all over America, no identification. That's a side note. You don't need a wallet to fly, just like you don't need a wallet to drive into Arizona, Texas, or Florida. You get in your car and you drive. You don't need an ID to fly. Just let you know. They will pat you down and it might tickle. Other than that, it's not a big deal. It takes an extra 60 seconds. Okay, next. So no world tools. Number 3, call them and see how they're doing. Invite them to the business planning clinic. Will, get them to the goal setting, to the level up. Jared, get them to the things you're doing. David, girls, do your thing. Do it. Joanne, you're going to put on an event. I feel it in my bones. Dylan Nanaka is going to help you from Hawaii. We got the Hawaiian superstar. He's going to come learn. But we color people. I have Sean Kokoska in 48 hours. Drew's calling everybody. I'm calling over chicks. You got to come bring people. You got to come bring. It's going to be amazing. The president of Keller Williams, the of MAPS coaching. It was the best program ever. He's here. He's teaching the business planning clinic. It's not about EXP. You're going to get a business planning workbook. We printed them up. You're going to walk out with a concrete plan for 2025. Hope isn't a strategy. You're going to have initiatives for quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to know where your listings are coming from, where you're buying, how much profit you're going to make. You're going to have a business plan. You got to come. Do you talk to people that way? You should. Now use your own style, whatever, but I do. I go, you're crazy. Missing this to show property is a fool's errand. Missing this, it's the worst. Bump your listing appointment. I'm already booked. Rebook yourself. Change your schedule. You have a chance to hear the number one guy in the world help you craft a business plan for next year, and you're going to go show a $5 million house? How about selling $35 million houses? But you're not going to, because you're going to go show a $5 million house. Bump the $5 million house. Bump the $10 million listing. Come. Staying home changes nothing. You got to be a little passionate. So we're calling them. And so we do it, you could do it Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Pick a day. This is what I do on Friday. Fire them up Friday. Wild Wednesdays, Together Tuesdays. I don't know, come up with a silly name and then touch your front line. Stay with them. If you leave them alone, they will say goodbye. Finally, I ran out of time for Dean, so I'm just going to share this. Tony Robbins, I went to his inner circle this weekend. I was there with AJ Gupta. He manages a $300 billion fund. He sold his company, though, but that's what he was doing. Dr. Oz was there all weekend. Mark Hyman was there. Look him up, Mark Hyman. He's out of New York. He's best friends with RFK. He will be doing the Keep America Healthy again. He's designing the nutrition plan. They're going after the pharmacies. They're going after all this bad sugar. They're going after it. They're taking the gloves off. 70% of America's obese. I'm one of them. I'm way overweight. So they're taking the gloves off, and it's going to be awesome. So Mark Hyman was there all weekend. He was a doctor last year, making $1 million a year. He formed a new company with this whole plan, and it got valued this year $100 million. He went from $1 million to $100 million in 1 year. And then the UN, United Nations, called him and said, "Can you develop the nutritional plan for Europe?" And they called him while we were there. It was amazing. A guy named Pace Morby. Wave at me. Do you know the name Pace Morby? Do any of you know Pace Morby? Tom knows Pace. David knows Pace. Anybody else know Pace Morby? Look him up. Google him. Google the man, not now, but Pace, P-A-C-E, Morby, M-O-R-B-Y. Tom awesome. And David, unmute yourself. I want 15 to 20 seconds on your opinion of the man. You have 20 seconds because I'm over. Go. I'll start with Tom, then I'll go to David.
Okay, I was listening to his book this morning on Audible. It's called Wealth Without Cash. I highly recommend him. Pace Morby is all about creative financing, subject to fix and flip, all the stuff, but he focuses on sub 2. He owns over 250 doors, and he's not run his credit or paid money for any of them out of pocket for the last 18 years. He's brilliant. He is the king of subject to. You can follow him on Facebook, on Instagram. He's brilliant. I highly recommend it. This is the way to build your portfolio. If you have crappy credit, if you have no money, if you don't know what you're doing, he gives away a ton of information for free. He's like Brent. He references the book called The Go Giver in his book, which is all about giving. He is amazing. Brent, I'm so glad you mentioned him. Look up Pace Morby.
Yeah. So Pace and I are now became best friends this weekend. I got him on speed dial. We've been talking today. We talked yesterday. And Pace is going to come talk to you guys. He asked for permission if he could join the 1% club and actually talk to you guys and share. He's got not 9 employees, but what was it? Oh yeah, 900. He is like absolute genius, and that there's nobody like him out there. So I'm super excited about that. Let's see what
and
David,
he's
real quick.
12 kids because he grew up in poverty. His story is amazing.
Yep. He's so down to earth. David, real quick, what are your thoughts of Pace Morby? Just 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah, so I saw Pace Morby at a short-term rental conference. We sell a lot of short-term rentals here in our area, and if you're a marketplace or you deal with anyone with short-term rentals, Pace Morby should definitely be on your listen to, Audible read study list. He is He's phenomenal. For me, it's like he's really good at working around stuff. We as realtors work around objections, issues all the time, and he is the king of it in terms of that. So I would definitely spend some time, energy listening to him.
Absolutely. It was just incredible. And there's just so many cool things. So he's going to be on the 1% Club. You'll get to meet him, talk to him, and usually he has thousands. And we just, we're in this elite, it's a Zenith Business Club, high level thing. There's only 25 of us. Tony Robbins had 24 staff for 25 of us. So there's 25 of us at the big U-shaped table and 24 staff, camera, this, that, lights, camera, action, engineers. It was weird. It was like this thing was all out. A guy named Brian McKnight, you ever heard of him? Award-winning Grammy singer. He was there. There were so many, like Dr. Oz was there all weekend. I think I told you guys Mark Hyman and his AJ Gupta. It was just everybody was like Kathy and I for sure were the most unsuccessful company in the room. And those are the rooms you want to get yourself into. I started off with paying coaching for $495 in 1999. It scared me. $500 a month for coaching, right? And then I paid $895. Then I went to $1,000 a month, and then I went to $2,000 a month and $5,000. And now I'm paying, I don't even know what I'm paying, $250,000 a year for coaching with Tony. But guess what? The more you pay, the smaller the room gets. And I have Brian McKnight's phone number. I can invite him to come over. Like they're normal people. They're normal people. Pace Morby is so down to earth. People love him. So it was just pretty powerful. But one of the things Dean said, and I know I'm going over, but it was worth. He said, get rid of the $15, $20, $30 an hour things. You do the $60 an hour things. Like if you ever figure out what you make an hour, and hopefully it's $200-300 an hour or $2,000 or $3,000 an hour, and then why are you doing your dry cleaning? I just did my dry cleaning. I just dropped it off. But the point is this. I think about that, and so. Why are you mowing your lawn? Why are you? And Dean says he delegates everything so he can be doing his best. What is your superpower? What is your superpower? Listing homes? Why are you calling the roofer? Why are you calling the plumber? Why are you calling the stager? Why are you calling the title company? Why are you calling the mortgage company and checking, did they order the appraisal? Is it done? When will it be done? Why are you doing that stuff? That is an executive assistant's job. You give her a big old list of stuff to do in the morning, and she or he will knock out 10, 15, 20, whatever it is, and stuff you would have never gotten to. And if you got to it, no, I do it all. There's sellers you're forgetting to call. There's buyers you're forgetting to call up. Or, I do it all, and I call my sellers and buyers, really, because you were so busy. You could have had not one $40 million listing last week, Wendy, but 2 or 3. You need to stay in your superpower. Delegate the rest. It's scary. Start small. I started 20 hours a week, $1,200 a month. We'll try it for 3 months and see how it goes with Sandra. When I hired James 8-9 years ago, it was $3,000 a month. We'll try it for 3 months. He was my golf buddy. And I did it because Jenny begged me to hire him. And I'm like, God, is James even smart? I mean, your golf buddies, if they're smart, And I'm telling you, James is 20 times smarter than I am. I kept telling him, oh my God, I had no idea you're this smart. It makes him so mad. He's like, what do you think? I was like a caveman, like a boof? I'm like, I don't know. I was like, we're always fighting over where your ball goes. I didn't think you were that smart. You never know where your ball goes. Went here, no, went back here. I had no idea. It was brilliant. He's really brilliant. Like, he's the yin yang. I'm not brilliant. He's brilliant. I needed that, right? You're outgoing. Your assistant's analytical. If you're outgoing, you're going to drop details. James is analytical. He thinks spreadsheets and Excel spreadsheets are sexy. Me, I like yellow notepads. I have stacks of stuff all over my desk. I write it down. Here's today's list. I made a list of a bunch of stuff I want to do. Just slap it down. Then I get organized. And I need people like James in my life, and so do you. So Dean's message was maybe if you're not brave enough, start with the transaction coordinator. Don't do your own paperwork. And then from there, get a personal assistant. And then from there, and Jared, unmute yourself real quick. Jared, how many people do you think work for you in positions like that, whether they're independent contractors or actual payroll? Real rough number. What do you think it is? I bet you it's more than 5.
Yeah, multiple VAs, a full-time personal assistant that runs across all businesses, the transaction coordinator, and then crews on flip. Probably 10 to 15, maybe.
Yeah. If he didn't have that, it's all on him. And did you start with 10 or 15, Jared? Or did you just start with what?
Embarrassingly, I'm in the first year of having the full-time assistant. I had other stuff. If you are at any high level and you don't have a full-time assistant just running your life, listen to Buy Back Your Time and get one immediately, because I got one halfway through the book and I mean, probably doubled income, and my time is, God, I don't write offers. I don't put signs out. I don't do any of that stuff. And I don't check on flips. Like, just hire one personal assistant to do everything in your life you don't want to do.
The book is called Buy Back Your Time.
Buy Back Your Time. Yeah. Dan Martell, I think is the author. Is that right? Someone else know? I think it's Dan Martell.
Yeah, when I hired James, I was making like $20,000 a month. But I have all these kids. We live in California. They're all in private school. Some of them are in college. I'm just hemorrhaging cash. And my income, my net income was $20,000 a month. What I net after expenses was pretty good. I mean, hey, life's good, right? This is back 2012, after the crash. I'm just starting to rebound. It was just me. I wasn't an EXP. After 3 months, remember, I always hire 3 months. Let's try it for 3 months. Maybe you won't like working with me. Maybe we won't be a fit for me. It's a two-way street. I don't say I'm going to fire you in 3 months if you're not doing a good job, right? Guess what? 3 months later, my net income tripled. I went to $60,000 a month because James saw the waste. He saw the balls that were dropping. I started netting $60,000 a month within 3 months. I'm like, oh yeah, no. I'm good. You happy, James? I hope you're happy. And then I give him a raise to $4,000 a month, and $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000 and $8,000. And then at $8,000 a month, we found EXP. And James goes, how would you like to not pay me? I go, well, you deserve to get paid. No, I'll trade you. I like this EXP thing. I think it's got legs. How about we do $8,000 a month, and then I'll take 10% of what you earn. I'll help you build it. And then once it hits $8,000 a month, the rev share, my 10%, which I had to earn $80,000 a month in rev share, then you quit giving me payroll, and I'll just take my 10% from this. And we didn't put a limit on it. I should have. Anyways, but he started making $80,000 a month, $90,000 a month. He started making $120,000 a month, $140,000 a month, $160,000 a month, not a year, with his 10%. But guess what? I had an owner. He went from someone who was helping me to someone with skin in the game, and he worked so hard. He deserves every penny of that. I'm proud to pay it to him, and I'll pay it to him the rest of his life. It's in perpetuity. He could stop today, and I'll pay it to his grandkids. And that is rocket fire.
Are you still doing deals like that, Brent? Because I want to sign up. I'm just saying.
I'm taking everybody. Send me a message. We'll sign you up. I'll give you 10% of everything I do. Just kidding. No, that was a moment in time, right? A moment in time. So, anyways, okay. Let me see. What time is it? Okay. Wow. I went way over. I'm going to come back and give you a 5-minute mastering sales. So if you got to go. We went 13 minutes over today. I don't think I've ever done that. So for this over, I was too fired up. Tony Robbins will do that to you, and Pace Morby will do that to me, and Dr. Oz all weekend. We're like, I got pictures of me and Dr. Oz hugging each other. It was so much fun, you guys. I can't even tell you. All right. Love you. Back in 5 minutes. If you got to bounce, we'll see you. Go get them. Bye.